Greetings my saplings, in today's video we're going to be discussing the off-white Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star 70s. To be specific in today's video, like always in these How to Cop guides, we'll be mentioning some release info and some background information for the sneaker, how to cop them, and just a quick hint guys, it's not going to be the same as previous Off-White and Nike releases, and finally just some resale predictions for those of you who might be interested in reselling the shoe. So we're going to start with the background information for the sneaker like we always do, but I understand some of you guys might not care about this and you did just come here for the How to Cop guide, and that's fair. So skip to this portion of the video if you just want to see the How to Cop portion, but for the rest of you who might actually care about the shoe, feel free to stick around. Kicking it off, Converse was founded as the Converse Rubber Shoe Company in 1908, but the most notable date is actually 1917, which we actually see on the Off-White Converse themselves. The reason 1917 is actually a significant date is because Converse created the shoe called the non-skids. Yeah, that's what they looked like back then. Anyway, these were initially designed for basketball players because there was good traction on these, hence the name non-skids, and of course, good ankle support, or at least at the time it was good ankle support. Anyway, moving to 1921, Charles Taylor, also known as Chuck Taylor, joined Converse. Now, the company adopted his ideas as a basketball player to enhance flexibility and better ankle support. In addition, he also had them add a circular patch on the ankle, which we now see to this date, along with his signature. So now, this became the first celebrity-endorsed athletic sneaker. So now moving to 2003, after Converse filed for bankruptcy from too much competition, Nike acquired them for around $300 million or so. Finally, after Nike implemented their new technology to make the Converse shoe lighter, they also created the Chuck Taylor All-Star 70. This silhouette is what you're currently looking at right now. This specific silhouette that you're looking at features thicker canvas, a high rubber midsole, thicker cushioning, a smaller toe cap, and a black heel patch versus a white heel patch. And now moving to 2018, on May 12th, they did their very first collaboration with Off-White. This sneaker did very well, just like all Nike and Off-White sneakers have done in the past. Of course, this sneaker has the translucent upper compared to what we see now with no translucent upper. But now jumping to October 8th, for $130, we have part 2. So hopefully now when somebody were to hypothetically ask you, hey, I like those shoes, what are they? Like, can you tell me a little bit about them? Hopefully now you can actually tell them a little bit of what you know about these sneakers instead of just standing there not knowing what to say. But with that out of the way, why don't we jump to the How to Cop portion of the video, because of course, that's why you guys came here, right? So like I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, it is going to be different than what we've seen with previous Off-White and Nike releases. The reason I say this is because they're not going to be releasing on the sneakers app, and they're also not going to be releasing on Nike.com/launch, which is basically the sneakers website. Instead of this, they're actually going to be releasing just like the last Converse, where they released on Nike.com under the Converse section. So to get to here, you just got to type in Nike.com, then click on the Converse section. You'll see the little arrow with the star. That's the Converse symbol. Click on that. Once you click there, normally you have to click on limited edition, but in this case, I guess they just have it right up in front of there. All you have to do is click on learn more under the Off-White and Nike shoe. This only applies to US, Canada, and Europe. It literally tells you what you need to do to acquire these sneakers. Of course, I'm going to mention a couple other things, but let's take a look at what they have up here right now. So, of course, they tell you that you have to be logged into a Nike Plus account. Basically, you can just have your regular Nike Sneakers account. So if you log into Nike Sneakers with one account, you could also log into the Nike Plus with the same account, same email. And then, of course, you have to be logged in and try to purchase these sneakers at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for US and Canada, I believe. I might be mistaken on Canada. And then for Europe, it will be 4 a.m. Eastern Time. Alright, so from the last release for these of the Off-White Converse with the translucent upper, they released the same way on Nike.com under the Converse section. And it was not a draw, it was actually a Leo drop. And I know this for two reasons. First of all, when I tried to purchase the sneaker, it said pending. Not only that, but I was also pretty slow in purchasing this sneaker. I happened to be at school at the time, and the school Wi-Fi, there was a lot of lag with this, so it took me at least a minute So evidently, it is not a first come first serve process. It's still a Leo drop, even though it's on Nike.com opposed to Nike sneakers. It's still the same process. So of course, because it's still going to be randomized within a small window of, I'd say, like 1 to 2 minutes, you're going to want to get in as many accounts as possible, just like we do on Nike sneakers. The only difference from this drop and the previous drop actually wasn't scheduled. I believe we got something like a 10-minute warning. They loaded up a couple of minutes before, something like that. And looking at my Gotham page from when I originally purchased these sneakers, I took the screenshot at 9:03 a.m. Eastern Time, which means these released at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, I'm not sure why they didn't release them at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, but yeah, the only difference here seems to be that instead of 9 a.m. Eastern Time, they're going to be releasing at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, at least for US and Canada, most likely. Of course, since it is going to be the same process, the same rules do apply that we've been mentioning for Nike sneakers. So you can use the same address on multiple different accounts. Not only that, but you also do need different payment methods. Now, I have heard that you can use the same payment method up to 3 times. That's the limit. Me personally, I like to use every payment method once just to be safe, but it's up to you what you want to do, of course. Perhaps you could use every single payment method once, and then for another payment method, maybe use that one 3 times. It's up to you what you want to do. And then also, of course, only 3 max per IP address. So if you're feeling confident, like you could get in 6 accounts within a 1-minute time frame or 2-minute time frame, and you want to get them all in, for 3 accounts, stay on the Wi-Fi, and then for the other 3 accounts, maybe set up a hotspot on your phone and connect another computer to that hotspot. Or you could also just have different devices on Long-Term Evolution, or you can also have different browsers on your phone using Long-Term Evolution, so you're just not connected to the same Wi-Fi as those other 3 accounts. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying right now. But aside from that, of course, there are also going to be some first come first serve online releases, those of which I'm going to keep you guys updated on. Right now, we don't know which ones they're going to be. As we edge closer to the release date, I'm going to make a tips for copying video, those of which I usually reserve this information for. So make sure if you're new, turn on post notifications and subscribe for that. And in addition to that, of course, there are going to be raffles. As of now, there's actually a couple of raffles you could get a head start on copying these sneakers, of course. So right now, some online raffles would include End Clothing, SVD, Titolo. All these links for the raffles are going to be on my Twitter, KeithAdam10. And then in addition to that, of course, there's going to be plenty more raffles to join. I'm going to keep you guys updated, and I'll post them on my Twitter. I'll probably retweet that tweet that I have already up there with some more raffles, and I'll keep it as a pinned tweet, just so it's extremely easy for you guys. All you got to do is just click on all the links, sign up. But anyway, that will conclude it for the how to cop portion of today's video. Let's move on to the resale predictions. So I think it's very obvious when it comes to Off-White and Nike collaborations that they're not only going to sell out, but they're also going to be pretty profitable. You should definitely expect less profit than the OG pair. In fact, I would also expect less profit than what you're seeing with the Off-White Blazers. Right now, pre-sale is already around $600 to $700, and people are taking low balls as bids. As we edge closer to the 8th, we'll see these prices drop just a little more, but then after the drop, you'll actually see them rise just a little bit, nothing significant, and then when all the pairs go into circulation, you'll see another drop. No matter what though, I still think these are going to be very profitable. Obviously, your retail is $130 on Nike, and through the raffles, I believe the most you'll be paying is maybe like $180 or $200, so definitely profitable shoes. I recommend going for them. And I know a lot of you guys are going to ask me, should I hold or sell these? Here's the thing. I would recommend holding them for around 1 to 2 weeks. The reason I say this is because a lot of people just sell immediately as soon as they get their pairs from Nike. This is kind of the trough of the prices when they're at their lowest point. And then after a week to 2 weeks, they do kind of rise just a little bit. But after that, they kind of plateau. In my opinion, I don't think it's worth holding these long term. They're definitely not going to go down, and they're going to go up. It's just a question of, is it worth it? For a shoe that's already going for this much, is it worth waiting for an extra $50 or so? Proportionally, it's not worth it in my opinion, but of course you can say, oh Keith, that is $50. I mean, you know, $50 is a lot. But still, I don't think it's worth it to hold them for too long. It's up to you what you want to do, of course, though. I'll keep you guys updated on these shoes, so make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications if you happen to be new. With that, though, I'll conclude today's video. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed or if you perhaps learned a thing or two. With that, though, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day.